The Week 1 NFL schedule for the 2025 season brings some exciting matchups. The Detroit Lions take a trip to Lambeau Field. The San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks face off in an NFC West showdown. And a must-see quarterback duel between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen will be held in Buffalo. As always, we have you covered with everything you need to know. Let's get into the full Week 1 slate, which culminates with the Monday Night Football matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. For this is TXN Sports World, NFL Friday. The road to Santa Clara begins now. Hey there, welcome everybody to the season premiere, Week 1 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined by Michael Bullock. We had MF for a moment, but he stepped away. But I'm sure it's only temporary. I'm sure MF will be back with us. That's good old MF Michael Fletcher. I'm sure he'll be back on with us momentarily. So while we await his return, we apologize for the little delay here. Of course, we're all still freaking out and marking out over the big moment in the world of professional wrestling here tonight. That literally broke the internet. I don't even know how we even still have an internet right now, because I'm pretty sure it's got to be broken and it's shattered by now after what happened here tonight. So don't worry. You're going to get our thoughts. You're going to get all of our thoughts on that come 24 hours from now on the Saturday Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF's channel, Braves Fan 95, tomorrow night. So we'll elaborate a great deal about that tomorrow. You better believe that. But for right now, let us get into Week 1 of the 2025 NFL season. It kicked off last night at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia as the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles opened defense of their Super Bowl championship against the Dallas Cowboys. And it was the Philadelphia Eagles who defeated the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 24-20, despite a weather delay that lasted over an hour with lightning and rain in the area. So, wow. So, not much more to say on that. So, let's break down the numbers here. Jalen Hurts, 19 of 23, 152 yards. No TDs, no picks. But Jalen Hurts also had 14 carries for 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley, 18 carries, 60 yards and a touchdown for him. It was Jahan Dotson, who had 3 catches for 59 yards. Dallas Goedert, 7 for 44. Saquon Barkley, 4 for 24. And the defense, no sacks, no picks, but they didn't really need that. For the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, 21 of 34, 188 yards, no TDs, no picks. Javonte Williams, 15 carries, 54 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Miles Sanders had 4 carries for 53 yards. CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches for 110 yards to lead the way for Dallas. 1 sack for the defense. It was Marshawn Nealon who had the sack, and that was that. Crazy game last night. Star defensive player for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Carter, was ejected from the game for literally spitting at Dak Prescott to start the game. And you knew we were in for a wild and crazy game when something like that happens right at the get-go. And then from there, we also had that weather delay that occurred with 4:44 to go in the third quarter. But alas, it was the Philadelphia Eagles who held on for the win, defeating Dallas 24-20. And Eagles are 1-0, Cowboys 0-1. And next up for the Eagles, Oh boy. Ho 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 ho. Next Sunday, a Super Bowl rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead next Sunday. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the game of the week next week. And as for the Dallas Cowboys, they will also have their home opener. They will have their home opener against the New York Giants. So a lot of people wrote Dallas off, especially after the big trade, after they traded away their best defensive player, Micah Parsons, to the Green Bay Packers. And that Jalen Carter ejection definitely brought some new life, gave Dallas a new lease on life. And because everybody wrote off Dallas, everybody thought that Dallas was gonna have no chance and that Philly was gonna run away with it. No, whether you like them or not, give credit to the Dallas Cowboys, man. They hung with the Super Bowl champs last night. They did. They really, really did. But at the end of the day, it was Philly who did just enough to eke out the win, and now they got to go to Arrowhead next week for that Super Bowl rematch against the Chiefs, and we will most certainly get into that next week. So so a big win for Philly, and we'll see where it goes. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Welcome to another season of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. We started it last night. Philadelphia Eagles defeating the Dallas Cowboys 24-20. Like I said, I know a lot of people are writing off Dallas this year, and rightfully so. But give them credit; they hung with Philly. They almost could have won this thing.
Oh yeah, I mean if there was some, and let's not forget another thing too, Florio. CeeDee Lamb had some key drops in this game.
Yes.
If he made some of those catches, who knows? Maybe Dallas would have been able to steal this one. And I know people are writing off Dallas because of the Micah Parsons trade. I get that, but after seeing what they did, taking the defending champs to the limit, maybe we need to reconsider where we put them, Florio. I know it's only one game into the season, but who knows? Maybe what Jerry Jones said could be true. So it's only one game, but yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles, they did what they had to do. They took care of their home field, and yeah. But I mean, unfortunately, like you said, Jalen Carter with the ejection after he spat at Dak Prescott. I mean, even though I'm pretty sure you saw the video, Florio, that Dak Prescott was spinning first, but the thing was, he spat on the ground,
right,
while Jalen Carter spat literally right at him. So,
yeah.
Well, the thing is, we don't know if he was just not Jalen Carter, Dak Prescott was doing it just to get whatever he needed out of his system, or if he was really trying to, like, how do I say it, like, be the instigator.
Yeah, poke the bear, if you will.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, it seems like they always seem to get the person who retaliates. So, but no matter what, no matter how, I just didn't like it. I mean, it was
Me neither.
a little unprofessional. No matter who
a little
started
disgusting,
it,
and for my taste.
But I'm sure the NFL is going to deal with that, and I hate to say it, maybe Jalen Carter's maybe looking at a suspension
Could be.
and a hefty fine, but yeah, no rest for the weary for the Eagles, because
next week
they get the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl rematch, and
at
that's going to
Arrowhead.
be and that's going to be America's Game of the Week on Fox next week. And
lucky them, man. Lucky them.
And obviously, we know who's doing that game. It's the same guys who did Super Bowl 59.
Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi. We'll get to them later, but
yeah, we'll get to the game they're going to be calling later on. But
a little surprising, the game that
which
they're
is
calling.
which is a little surprising for the first week of the season. But
then again, they kind of got dealt a bad hand when it comes to the schedule. But
yeah, because remember, Fox only has one game.
Yeah.
So
while
CBS has the doubleheader.
CBS has the doubleheader this week. We got the doubleheader, the mothership, of course, and
yeah. So great win for the Eagles, but we'll see what happens next week when they get the Chiefs and Dallas. Who'd you say they have next?
The Giants.
Yeah, I think this should be a bounce back game for them. So we'll see what happens there. So with that being said, Florio, I know we still got some time left in the Chiefs Chargers game that's going on in Brazil. So
yeah,
why don't we just go through some of the week one matchups, and then whenever it goes final, we can recap it.
That sounds like a plan to me.
All right. So with that being said,
I'll set it up here. We, of course, as you all know, we do have another game going on right now. It was our number 2 game of the week on our side of the ledger. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers from the Corinthians Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And the Chargers lead the Chiefs 27-21 in the fourth quarter, 2:14 to go. And the Chiefs have called their final timeout. So they essentially have one left, but really with the 2-minute warning. But right now, yes, don't adjust your sets. The score is correct. The Los Angeles Chargers are leading the Kansas City Chiefs 27-21, but it's far from over. I mean, we still got 2:14 to go. So, but this has definitely been a great game. It's been a back and forth game so far, and the Chargers are facing a 3rd and 14 right now, and we'll do our best to keep you updated, and that is that. So with that, let us dive in to the slate, the rest of the slate for week number 1, the Sunday slate. Oh, the Chargers are going to get a first down and then some. Whoa, what a run by Justin Herbert on that one. And for all intents and purposes, it looks like the Chargers are about to pull a big upset here.
It's looking like my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. First, what happened in Chicago, now this? If this holds up, Justin Herbert.
Boy, all I can say is, Florio, that this is good. This is a Friday night that I think we'll never forget here.
We've had a lot of banner Mondays. We haven't had many banner Fridays, but this will be most certainly a banner Friday here tonight.
And all we can say about that is yeet,
yeet. And for all the Chief haters out there, you're definitely loving this right now. I know I am. So, yeah,
especially after the way they've made your Buffalo Bills life miserable the last 2 times they met in the AFC Championship.
4 out of the last 4 out of the last 5 years.
Well, most importantly in the AFC Championship.
So damn close, man. So damn close.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about them later on. They're going to be damn near the main event, as they should be. So, all right. So, for all intents and purposes, that game justifiably could be over now, because remember, the Chiefs have no timeouts left. And that was the 2-minute warning. The Chargers just got the first down on that incredible run by Justin Herbert. I mean, that was a run, Forrest, run moment for Justin Herbert. So it looks like we're moments away from a shocker in Sao Paulo, Brazil. where the Los Angeles Chargers could be moments away from upsetting the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs. So, man, oh man. But yeah, let's even 2 minutes. Chargers in Kansas City territory. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Justin Herbert with that big run, and I think we can hold on, and because I think this is almost all but over. So the Corinthians Arena, Sao Paulo, Brazil, our number 2 game of the week, and boy did it deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they are in victory formation. The Chiefs cannot stop the clock. They have no timeouts left. And here's another look at that run by Justin Herbert. Look at this. Run, Forrest, run. Look at that. Awesome. No flags.
Mm-hmm.
And the Los Angeles Chargers are about to win this thing. So we'll just wait until the seconds tick off. It looks like there might be a little bit of some dissension among the ranks on the defense there. But yeah, that looked a little heated there. The first ever NFL game exclusively on YouTube, and boy howdy, it did not disappoint. But then again, when the Chiefs and the Chargers get together, they almost never disappoint. I mean, especially the last few years. I mean, that basically tells us that Baltimore and Buffalo, they got a tough act to follow on Sunday night in our game of the week. So, last one possession loss was 2023 Christmas Day against the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
They had won the Chiefs had won 17 straight one possession games. Well, that streak is now over.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's only one game, but this is definitely a season defining win for the Chargers to beat a team that's won the AFC Championship the last 3 years.
Indeed. And in the immortal words of Monday Night Raw general manager Adam Pearce, it is official. And we are gonna and now that it's official, we're gonna get into it. So here we go.
Yep, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, like Trick Williams would say, let's talk about it. Here we go. Our number 2 game of the week. It is now a final. And this is not a typo, ladies and gentlemen. The Los Angeles Chargers have defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 27-21 at the Corinthians Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The first ever NFL game exclusively on YouTube. And the Chargers went out there and did the damn thing. Holy wowzers, unbelievable. All right, let's break it down here. The Chargers are 1-0. The Chiefs are 0-1. Of course, you know the Chiefs will be squaring off against the Philadelphia Eagles in a Super Bowl 59 rematch in Arrowhead next week. That just became somewhat of a must-win game for the Chiefs. As for the Chargers, they will be on the road against the Las Vegas Raiders next Monday night as part of a Monday Night Football doubleheader next week. They'll be going to Allegiant Stadium to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. So that's where we stand with that. And now let's crunch some numbers, shall we? For the Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert, have yourself a night, kid. 25 of 34, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Omarion Hampton, 15 carries for 48 yards to lead the rushing attack. Justin Herbert, 7 carries for 32 yards, including that incredible run to seal the game. Quentin Johnston, 5 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Ladd McConkey, 6 catches for 74 yards. Keenan Allen, 7 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown. The defense recorded 2 sacks tonight. Dayon Henley and Deshaun Hand had the sacks for the Chargers here tonight. No turnovers, no interceptions. So that's for the Chargers. For the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 24 of 39, 258 yards and a touchdown, no interceptions. Mahomes also led the rushing attack with 6 carries for 57 yards and a touchdown. Hollywood Brown, 10 catches for 99 yards to lead the receiving corps. Travis Kelce, 2 catches, 47 yards and a touchdown, much to the delight of his now fiancée, Miss Taylor Swift, of course. Defense recorded 3 sacks tonight, 2 of which went to Drew Tranquill. Drew Tranquill with 2 sacks, and George Karlaftis had the other sack for the Chiefs. No turnovers forced on their end. A shocker here tonight as the Los Angeles Chargers defeat the Kansas City Chiefs 27-21. I mean, over the last couple of years, the Chiefs have gotten a bad rap for, finding ways to win, mainly because of the referees and all this other good stuff. But not tonight. The Chargers, a lot, and they proved a lot of the experts right. There are actually some experts who actually have the Los Angeles Chargers actually winning the AFC West division. And a win like this tonight, that's a great first step towards that. So this is massive. This could have an early impact on the AFC standings, on the AFC playoff standings. Because remember, the Chiefs are, of course, as long as they have 15 and 87 running around, I mean, they're always going to be the team to beat in the AFC until somebody knocks them off their perch. Of course, their 2 biggest threats, they square off against each other Sunday night in our game of the week. But could you imagine if the AFC playoff standings come down to this game here tonight, 4 months from now? Could you imagine that? You never know. But this is a monumental win and a statement win for the Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, Justin Herbert was the star of this game here tonight. I know a lot of people have called him overrated, including MF. I know MF has had some constructive criticism for Justin Herbert over the years, especially last year. But at least for one night, Justin Herbert is making us all eat crow here tonight. So congratulations, Los Angeles Chargers. Big, big win here tonight. And who knows, could this lead to some even bigger wins for them this season? You never know. It very well could. I think this is a team we're going to have to put some respect on. We're going to have to put some respect on these boys' names here tonight. I know I certainly am. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. So, not much more to say. And congratulations to YouTube. I mean, big moment for them to get this game and for the game to deliver. It's not a surprise because the Chiefs and the Chargers, every time they get together, it's always exciting. And this one was as exciting as it could get. So I don't know what else there is to say. Michael Bullock, we did not have this on our bingo card, on our NFL bingo cards here this week. We all thought that the Chiefs were going to find a way to win like they have done so many times year after year after year after year. Not tonight. Chargers steal one in Brazil.
Oh yeah, they definitely stole one in Brazil tonight, and yeah, and again, we're just gonna say it. I mean, it's only one game into the season, so one game's not gonna determine much out of it. So, but yeah, this is to me a season-defining win for the Chargers to beat the winners of the last 3 AFC championships, 3 in a row, and yeah, to do that, that's definitely big for them. And like you said, Fletch has been very critical of Justin Herbert, but to get a win like that, it's huge. But I think for me, Florio, and for him to be right up there with some of the other quarterbacks right now in this league, there's only one thing he needs right now, and that's a playoff victory. Because he's been winless so far in the time he's been in the playoffs. So he needs that if he wants to take that next step. So yeah, big win for them. And yeah, and now for Kansas City, you're 0-1 going in to face the defending Super Bowl champs who throttled you in Super Bowl 59. I don't know about you, Florio, but I think this is definitely a must-win for Kansas City
I was just about to ask that.
because you don't want to fall to 0-2. I mean, especially
Not in that loaded AFC, you don't.
Yeah, and especially losing at home. That's the thing too.
The home opener.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be the more desperate team going into that big game next week.
And don't be surprised if Swifty shows up.
Oh, she'll be there. She'll be there. No doubt about it in my mind. Especially with this, like you just said, with this being the home opener.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, big win for the Chargers. But like I said, next week is definitely a must-win game for the Kansas City Chiefs. Because last thing they want to do is fall to 0-2. So
in a loaded AFC.
Yeah, in a loaded AFC.
And and especially with their two biggest threats squaring off against each other Sunday night.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens and your Buffalo Bills.
Uh-huh.
So, and remember what I said about your Buffalo Bills going into the season.
We'll talk about that when we get.
We'll talk about it when we get to that.
I agree with you 100%.
So,
sure.
Right now, let's get on to the rest of week number 1.
Lordy, what a night. Banner Friday night indeed. All right, here we go.
And we ain't crazy about that, if you know what I mean.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, yeet. So, all right. So here we go. We now move into the Sunday portion of the NFL schedule. According to this, I believe we have 8. I want to say it's 8 early. We have 8 1:00 games. We got 2 4:05 games, 2 4:25 games, Sunday night football, and Monday night football. So we're going to get into the first of our 8 1:00 games. And this game will be over on Fox. NFC South Divisional matchup. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers squaring off against the Atlanta Falcons from Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Fox has this game, and it will be Kenny Albert, Jonathan Vilma, and Megan O'Leary. And they will be on the call for that one. And Tampa Bay opening up as only a 1-point favorite here. A little surprising. Atlanta leads the all-time series 32-31. And Atlanta won both meetings against Tampa Bay last season, including a 36-30 overtime win in Atlanta on Thursday Night Football last season. So with that, let's dive right on in. Of course, what we're going to do is we're going to do both teams' stories, a stat to know, and of course, our FPI, the FPI percentage, and of course, our prediction and score. So, all right. For the Buccaneers, what we're hearing on the Buccaneers, quarterback Baker Mayfield will face a big test without all-pro left tackle Tristan Wirfs and 2 of his top receivers in Chris Godwin Jr. with an ankle and Jalen McMillan with a neck. Tight end Cade Otton's game status is also in jeopardy with a groin injury. But Mayfield has been here before, having been without at one point his top 3 receivers last season. Mayfield said if you're trying to take a silver lining out of the injuries we had last year, those guys had to step up and play in a big way, referring to Ryan Miller and Sterling Shepard. Obviously, Tej Johnson and Emeka Egbuka are new, but we trust them and we're looking forward to them making plays for us. Specifically with McMillan's injury, which happened in the Bucs' second preseason game, this is where Egbuka's ability to learn all the receivers' roles in this offense is going to help the most. And for the Falcons, when quarterback Michael Penix Jr. got into a scuffle during a joint practice with the Tennessee Titans last month, he noted in his news conference that he wasn't going to shy away from a fight because I'm from Tampa. In his first full season as starter, Penix will go up first against his hometown team in week 1, the division rival Buccaneers. The second-year quarterback said he has managed to steal some fans away now that he's playing for Atlanta They're like, oh, you're there now. So we got to transfer over. The stat to know, the Falcons have won 2 straight in 4 of the last 5 meetings against Tampa Bay. And the FPI still gives Tampa Bay the advantage. 54% going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Man, this is a tough one. I got to be honest with you. This is a tough one to call. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take a chance, and I'm going to go with Tampa Bay to win this game. I will say final score here is going to be 33-20. Tampa Bay defeats Atlanta. All right, we got MF back in here. So, so I have Tampa Bay defeating Atlanta by a final score of 33-20. So not much more to say. MF, come on in. Quick thoughts. Let's get your quick thoughts on Cowboys-Eagles last night and the Chargers upsetting the Chiefs here tonight in Brazil. MF, are you there?
You there, Fletch?
Yeah, I mean his mic is on.
Yeah, his mic is on, and we just can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear him. No. Well, it's you didn't miss much, MF. I mean, we just talked about the Cowboys Eagles last night, and
yep, we hear you. We hear you. We hear you now.
We got him. Okay. All right, MF. Your thoughts on the 2 games here and your prediction for Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Huh, that's strange. We just had him. We just heard him.
Yeah, we just had him. Oh, I thought I heard something there. So
I know he has a new device and he's still trying to adjust to it.
Can you guys hear me now?
There you go.
There we go. I think we can hear you.
We got you.
I basically had to take off the headset because I don't know for what reason this headset's not working tonight. It's just
And you never have that problem.
No. That's why I'm wondering what the heck is going on, but I'm gonna try to fix it while I'm doing this. First off, let's talk about Philly and Dallas. That game was insane. I don't know, like, if you're Philly, you're very fortunate that you escaped with that victory. Because Dallas definitely played a lot more better than we all thought they were going to play. And I gotta say, if anybody thinks, oh, Dallas is going to be a pushover or anything else, they just show no. They're going to be a lot more better. There's a couple of areas where they need to clean up. Like, definitely got to clean up. But they definitely are a lot more better than what they laid themselves out to be last night. So I was very impressed with them. As far as Kansas City and the Chargers go, great win by the Chargers. You know, they absolutely played a tremendous game. They played smart. It was a good strategy. You know, what was the one thing I said, Anthony? If there's one team that some way somehow has like the little bit of the kryptonite, it's the Chargers. They always do this to them every year. There's always that one game they catch them off guard on a good night, and everything goes the right way. Tonight, that's exactly what they did. Offensively, they were good. Defensively, they were fine. They held a couple of the Kansas City guys in check. Mahomes got his. Kelsey got his. Pacheco got his. But they never got killed. They never had that one moment where we're like, uh-oh, it's Kansas City. No, they didn't. Because every time Kansas City answered, the Chargers came right back and hit them with a counter. So they were able to counterpunch. So, you know, Chargers are very fortunate with the big win. Philly was fortunate with their win. And as far as the game on Sunday, which is Falcons and who? Anthony?
It's Tampa Bay at Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm going Tampa Bay. I just feel like Tampa is they're my pick to win the division. They're my pick to win the division. I feel like Tampa is definitely the better team. So yeah, give me the Buccaneers to beat the Falcons. And now back to you.
Actually, it goes to Bullock.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well. I mean, yeah, I picked them to win the division as well. I mean, I do think the Falcons will give them some fits, but in the end, I just think they're the better team. So I'm gonna go with the Bucks to win. So let's move on to the next game.
And MF will start it off, and it's another Fox game. This is where the cross flex comes into play here. AFC North divisional matchup. It's the Battle of Ohio. The Cincinnati Bengals squaring off against the Cleveland Browns from Cleveland Browns Stadium in Cleveland, the Huntington Bank Field. Kevin Kugler, Daryl Moose Johnston, and Allison Williams. They will be on the call for that one. Cincinnati opening up as a 5.5-point favorite. And Cincinnati leads the all-time series 55-48. Bengals have won 3 meetings in a row, including a sweep last year, including a 21-14 win in Cleveland. So not much more to say. MF. Oh, we lost MF again. Oh man. I mean, we just had him, and
I think it's the heads. He's trying to fix the headset.
yes, he did say that. He did say that. That's right. So
So maybe he's stepping away to do that.
I guess so. So hopefully
So,
we'll
I'll take it for a spin.
hopefully he'll get the issue straightened out soon enough. But for right now, we'll give it to Michael Bullock here. Cincinnati and Cleveland on Fox. Your thoughts?
Yeah, and you want to also talk about must win seasons for certain teams. We did talk about it with one team. I think this is another one because
Yes.
remember, I mean, offensively they were good. It was the defense that was really
Ugh.
what led them to missing the playoffs. So they have to fix that problem if they want to get back to where they were a few years ago when they were in the Super Bowl. I mean, especially when you've got Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase, you got
T. Higgins.
All those offensive weapons for Joe Burrow. So I think this is another make or break year for Cincinnati. So Cleveland, I think it's going to be another hard times year for them. I mean, I don't see them going anywhere. Yeah, I don't see them going anywhere. I'm gonna go with the Cincinnati Bengals to win this one. So, it is yours, Florio.
What we're hearing on the Bengals, nobody needs to tell Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow that Browns defensive end Myles Garrett can be a game wrecker. Garrett has sacked Burrow more than any other player in the NFL with 10 sacks in 8 games and a whopping 20 hits, per ESPN research. Burrow said it's imperative to know where Garrett is on every snap and where the hot read is in case Garrett blows up a play. Burrow said, and I quote, "Sometimes he's back there before you can catch the ball, basically, and you have to get it out." For the Browns are facing a familiar divisional opponent, but Coach Kevin Stefanski said there's a bit of mystery with new Bengals defensive coordinator Al Golden. Stefanski said, and I quote, "You have to be aware for the unknown. He can do anything from a front standpoint, from a cover standpoint." Cleveland, though, will debut the newest iteration of its offense with a renewed focus on running the ball. The Browns ranked 29th in rushing yards per game last season at just north of 95, but are facing a Bengals defense that ranked 25th in run-stop win rate at 28.9%. The Bengals have a 1-11 record in weeks 1 and 2 since 2019 when Zach Taylor became head coach, the worst in the league over that span. Cincinnati, a sizable favorite here. The FPI gives it to Cincinnati 64%, going with the Bengals. I'm going with the Bengals to win this one as well. My final score, I'll go 33-13, Cincinnati over Cleveland. So with that, we move on to our next game. And I believe we take this over to our side of the ledger for the mothership, CBS. And this game comes in as our number 6 game of the week. This is the number 6 game of the week on our side of the ledger. A renewal of an old AFC East divisional rivalry, as it will feature. Perfect timing. We're all right. All right, MF. We just talked about the Cincinnati Bengals against the Cleveland Browns on Fox.
Cincinnati wins.
Okay. And we'll to keep the rotation going, we'll have Bullock lead off on our next game, which is MF's team. Here you go, MF. Your opener, the Miami Dolphins, squaring off against the Indianapolis Colts. A renewal of an old AFC East divisional rivalry. We miss those days very much. This game comes in as our number 6 game of the week. And on the call for this game for CBS, it'll be Andrew Catalan, Charles Davis, and Jason McCourty. And the spread favors Indy, believe it or not. Indianapolis opening up, but it's only a 1-point spread. The spread's only 1 for Indy. But nonetheless, quickly get into the overall history here. The series history between these two old school rivals. Miami leads the all-time regular season series 46-29. They met last year in Indianapolis, and the Colts beat the Dolphins by a score of 16-10. Colts have won the last 2 meetings in a row. Miami last beat Indy at Indy and overall in 2019, an ugly 16-12 win. So Michael Bullock, let's start it off with you here once again, so we can keep the rotation going here.
All right.
The Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts are number 6 game of the week on our side, and a renewal of an old AFC East divisional rivalry.
Is definitely. I mean, and I don't know about you, and especially for you, Fletch. I mean, would you say that it's a make or break year for Mike McDaniel?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because they can't get off to such a good. I mean, they can't get off to a bad start, because if they do, that seat's only going to get hot for Mike McDaniel, because they brought him in to really to make this offense what it's been, and they're going to be in contention in the AFC East, whether they win it or even just get to the playoffs. That all depends on how much of a hot start they can get off to. It's going to determine where this team goes. So I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins to win this one. And like I said, I think this is a make or break season for Mike McDaniel. So it is yours, Florio.
Couldn't agree with you more on that one. What we're hearing on the Dolphins after missing nearly the last month with oblique and calf injuries, respectively, wide receiver Tyreek Hill and running back Devon Achane have returned to practice for the Dolphins and are expected to play. In regard to Miami's offensive cohesiveness, having gone 3 weeks without its 2 leaders in total yards last season, Coach Mike McDaniel said that not only were Hill and Achane on point prior to their injuries, but he also watched them in the classroom be live action participants in a way that I think may have been more of a struggle in years past. Translated, there's no concern about whether the Dolphins stars will be acclimated come game day. For the Colts, they have overhauled their defense with a new scheme featuring man-to-man coverage, but the key player coaches and teammates say is Laiatu Latu. The second-year edge rusher finished last season with just 4 sacks, but the Colts are featuring him in 2025 in an effort to unlock his potential. Defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo said, "I think he's going to have a hell of a season based on what I've witnessed so far." This is Miami quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's first career start versus the Indianapolis Colts, the only AFC team other than his own team, the Dolphins, he has never faced. The FPI, this is basically a pick 'em. Indianapolis, 50.5%. I think we can basically round that up to 51% for Indianapolis. But in all honesty, I don't see it. I got to go with Miami here. I think Miami wins this game. I'm going to say final score is going to be, I'm going to go 24-20. Miami gets by Indianapolis at Lucas Oil Stadium. I forgot to mention Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. That's where the game will be played. And let's also not forget, it's going to be an emotional day for Colts fans because, as we all know, during the offseason, their owner, Jim Irsay, passed away. Mm-hmm. So, it's going to be a doubly emotional day for Colt fans at Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday. So, but I got Miami winning regardless, 24-20. MF, Dolphins and Colts. This was a rivalry we used to cover back in the day, and here it is, our number 6 game of the week. First game out for your Dolphins on what will be an emotional day as they honor the memory of Jim Irsay.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's gonna be wild. So to get this matchup to go down, this game, I think it's gonna be very interesting to see how it plays out. But the one thing is for sure, I think Miami definitely has a lot to grow and definitely has a moment that we're waiting on, and hopefully we'll see if they are able to unlock that whatever the story is. But we just got to see how it plays out. But yeah, I think Miami should win this game. I'm not going to say that it's going to be a dominant, but I think that they will win. And yeah, I got the Dolphins winning the game and nothing more to say. So Anthony, it's yours.
All righty. And we move on to our next matchup. Back to the Fox side of the ledger. And how about this? How about this for some irony, guys? The two expansion teams that joined the NFL 30 years ago to open up the 30th anniversary of their seasons, they're going to be playing each other this week. How about this? How cool is this? On Fox, the Carolina Panthers squaring off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You remember these two teams joined the league in 1995. This is the 30th anniversary of that. And how fitting is it that they're playing each other? That's pretty cool. So this game on Fox, we got Chris Myers, Mark Schlereth, and Jen Hale on the call. And the spread favors Jacksonville. Jacksonville opening up as a 3.5-point favorite. And the series history between these two teams, it's tied 4-4. Their last meeting was 2023 in Jacksonville, and Jacksonville won 26-0. Carolina has only won in Jacksonville once. That was back in their Super Bowl season of 2015 when they went into Jacksonville and beat the Jags 20-9. So here we go. Panthers and Jags next up, and let's get into it. For the Panthers, they were the worst in the NFL at pressuring the passer last season, and disrupting Jags quarterback Trevor Lawrence will be key. Keep an eye on a player you may never have heard of in Carolina edge rusher Thomas Incoom. Fellow edge rusher DJ Wanham referred to him as a lightning bolt. Special teams coach Tracy Smith says he leads the nation and want to. Defensive coordinator Ejiro Iveru called him a Tasmanian devil. Stay tuned. The Jaguars want new coach Liam Cohen to have the same kind of impact on their run game this season that he did in Tampa Bay last season, when the Bucs finished 4th in yards a game at a season after finishing last. The Panthers are a good opponent to start against because they finished last in run defense last season, giving up almost 180 yards a game. With 2 new starters in the middle of the O-line, center Robert Hainsey and guard Patrick McCarry, and experienced running backs Travis Etienne Jr. and Tank Bigsby, Cohen is confident the run game will be better, but there's still some uncertainty. He said you have a confidence and belief, but you're not sure what that would truly look like. The Jaguars have suffered 6 straight losses in September, the longest active streak in the NFL, and one shy of tying their second longest streak in franchise history. Jacksonville, the FPI gives the edge to Jacksonville, 59% going with Jacksonville. And I'm going to go with Jacksonville to win this game as well. I'm going to say 20-13. Jacksonville defeats Carolina. So not much more to say. MF, Carolina and Jacksonville playing each other to honor their 30th anniversaries respectively.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be a good one, and I'm with you guys. I gotta feel like Jacksonville's the favorite. Look, this is a make or break for Jacksonville. I feel like Carolina's still on a rebuild more than anything else, but Jacksonville is in the win now, and then to have the number 2 overall pick, many people believe could be the rookie of the year in Travis Hunter. I mean, that is gonna be a very interesting situation. So, I mean, there's gonna be so much hype. There's so much hype for him to really explode on this night that he's gonna have to play like out of his mind to really kind of quell all the excitement that's coming in. So, if he does, then Jacksonville's got a winner. If he doesn't, oh boy, it's gonna get really loud in Jacksonville, very hard. So give me the Jacksonville Jaguars to win, and Michael Bullock, it is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. I mean, like you said, I'm interested to see how Liam Cohen does as he enters his first year as a head coach. I mean, and yeah, for Trevor Lawrence, it's make or break for him because, I mean, it's been an up and down career for him. So we'll see what happens. But I got the Jags winning, so let's move on.
That game, of course, will be at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, of course. So with that being said, let's get into our next game. And okay, Bullock, here we go. It's your turn now, as it will be the Las Vegas Raiders squaring off against Michael Bullock's new and improved New England Patriots from Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. This game came in as our number 7 game of the week. And on the call for this game, it'll be Spiro Ditas, Adam Archuleta, and Aditi Kinkabuela. And the spread favors New England. New England opening up as a 2.5-point favorite. Another old school rivalry, of course. These two teams know each other very well, of course. We all know this. And New England leads the all-time series 18-16 with a tie. Their last meeting was that wild and crazy finish in Las Vegas a couple years ago. Don't remind Bullock of that. We don't talk about that. He doesn't want to talk about that. We know all about that one. So 21-17 in Vegas. Their last meeting in New England was in 2020. New England won that one 36-20. The last time, you want to know the last time the Raiders won in New England? Got to go all the way back to 1994. 1994, the last time the Raiders won in New England. It was at the old Foxborough Stadium. Final score on that one was 21-17. So we'll save Bullock for last here because MF leads them up on this one.
Don't forget something else, Florio, when it comes to the history with these two.
The Tuck Rule game, of course.
Oh yeah, the playoff.
I'll tell you this right now. When it comes to me and MF, we've done so many games in like 30 plus years. That game is in our top 10 for sure.
Oh yeah, it was one of the best games we've ever done in our careers. Yeah,
back when you were the lead.
Yeah,
I mean, the fun we had with that game, man. I'll tell you, nobody had more fun with that game than I did because that was my kind of weather for it. So
yes, it was.
I will never ever forget it. So, but anyways, there isn't much more to say here. So, MF, the Las Vegas Raiders, the New England Patriots, our number 7 game of the week. Same old Raiders, I'm sure, but could this be Now for the Patriots, a lot of big moves. New coach Mike Vrabel. They made a lot of moves in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing in the likes of Mac Hollins from Buffalo, Stephon Diggs from Houston, Milton Williams, and so many other big names in the offseason. Also drafting Travion Henderson from the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes, who had an electrifying kickoff return in that preseason game against the Commanders. So the question is, with all of these moves, could this be a new and improved Patriots team?
I'm going to say yes, because I do believe that they're definitely going to be a lot more better and a lot more to keep a closer eye on for this upcoming year. I believe New England definitely will be a lot better than what the experts have them, because I think they have them at like 5 or 6 wins this upcoming year. And I do believe the Patriots will be even better than that. When it comes to this battle against the Raiders, I like New England. I think New England will win. I definitely have them winning this game. I think defensively, remember, New England's always had a very good defense. They've always had. It doesn't matter if you had a bad year or whatever. You've always had a very good defense. The offense was really their Achilles heel, and Michael Bullock will allude to that in a little bit. But I think they may have figured it out. Obviously, when they went with Gerard Mayo was not the guy. I think we all could see it. It was written on the wall right out of the gate. Where like there was a couple of good games, but then he lost the locker room, and at that point, we were like, "Oh no, this is not going to work." And was I shocked that they let him go? No. Do I think he deserved a fair shake? I thought he deserved a fair shake. I would not have fired him. But when you are the New England Patriots and you know what your team is, and the winning culture and the whole 9 yards, it kind of felt like they had to make this move. Vrabel was the right guy to bring, and we've seen it already. That first game against the Commanders, yes, I know second, third strings, whatever, but that game really opened my eyes. I'm like, oh, this is not the same New England Patriots team we've seen in the last few years. This could be trouble, but, it's neither here or there. But no, they did fine, and they are doing fine, and I like what I see. So at the end of the day, yeah, I got the New England Patriots winning. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
And our own Mr. Bullock had a big day this past Monday, did you not, Bullock?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah, me and my parents, we actually we went to Foxborough on Labor Day Monday, and I got a chance to get up close with a little something, if you know what I mean, boys. As you
Tom
see,
Brady statue, folks.
yeah, the Tom Brady statue, and what did you say many times, Florio?
You always do this to me,
About
but
the
you always get me
statue.
on the fly. What's that?
TV doesn't do it justice.
Oh, TV doesn't do it justice. Yes, absolutely.
It's a really big statue, and I think it was well done. And yeah, now getting back to the game, of course, there is one little blow when it comes to the defense. Christian Gonzalez is he's not going to be able to go. He's out, but yeah, Mike Vrabel, I think he's really changed the culture of this team, and yeah, making these changes, getting some players via free agency, and this is a different team. So, and they have an easy schedule. Let's not forget about that too. So, and I'll be quite honest with you guys, and I don't know. I'm opening it to Fletch and Florio. Robert Kraft, I think, realized he made a mistake when it came to. I mean, I'm sure he thought Gerard Mayo was the guy, but I think he realized he flopped on that one. Correct, boys?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, I think he figured after everything that went down that he wasn't the guy. And he knew he had to make things right. And Vrabel was the guy. So, yeah, I think this team will definitely be better. So I'm definitely going with the Patriots to win this game. So it is yours, Florio.
Raiders rookie running back Ashton Gianti understands he is more than just a player who runs defenders over. His shiftiness and ability to be elusive are other reasons he is expected to have a significant role against the Patriots on Sunday. He said, I learned I probably need to make more guys miss. I've been a pretty physical player in the scenarios I was put in. I kind of had to. But yeah, obviously you want to pick and choose your battles. The season is long, and I want to be available throughout the whole season. For the Patriots, first-year head coach Mike Vrabel structured the practice script to include a break followed by 2 team periods because he wanted to stress the importance of winning the second half. Vrabel noted that 12 of the 16 Week 1 winners from 2024 outscored their opponents in the second half, and that ties in part to conditioning built up over the course of training camp. Mac Hollins said conditioning makes cowards of us all. When you're tired, you can make an excuse for why you didn't get a block, hold on to the ball, pass protect, make a tackle. But when you're in shape and you can see your opponent out of shape, it's a much better feeling. The Raiders are seeking their 3rd straight win over New England after having lost the previous 6 meetings from 2005 to 2020. The FPI gives it to New England. It's not overwhelming. It's only 53%, but they're going with New England nonetheless. And I am going to go with the New England Patriots to win this game as well. I'm going to go 23-20. New England defeats Las Vegas. Moving on to our next matchup, and we move on to our Zonk, the Zonk game of the week on our side of the ledger. The Arizona Cardinals squaring off against the New Orleans Saints from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. And this one will be on CBS. And on the call for that one, it will be Tom McCarthy, Ross Tucker, Logan Ryan, and Tiffany Blackman. And Arizona opening up as a 6.5-point favorite. Arizona leads the all-time series 16-15. Their last meeting was in 2022 in Arizona. And Arizona won that one, won a wild one, 42-34. In the Superdome, their last meeting was 2019. New Orleans won 31-9. The Cardinals have not won in the Superdome. Last time they won there, you got to go all the way back to 1996, 28-14. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, you started off. It's our Zonk game of the week. The Arizona Cardinals and the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome.
Yeah, I think I got Arizona winning this one. I think Kyler Murray is going to have another solid season, and I think this is going to be a rebuilding year for the Saints. So give me the Arizona Cardinals to win this one. So it's yours.
For the Cardinals, so many questions are surrounding wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. as he prepares for his second season. Namely, will he make the year 2 jump? One thing he gained from his first season that could contribute to his growth in 2025 is his experience. Harrison said, I knew it was a long season, but you don't know until you play it. Harrison has been getting more work done on his body to make sure he's as ready as possible late in the season. The Saints nickel cornerback Alontae Taylor returned to practice Wednesday after missing several weeks with a groin injury. Taylor said he was ahead of schedule in his rehab for a frustrating injury, and he had to shake the rust off in his first practice back. But overall, he's feeling enthused about the season. I got a pretty good chip on my shoulder going into this year, a lot to prove, but I'm ready for it and excited, he said. The Saints have won a franchise record 6 straight season openers, which is the longest active streak in the NFL. No NFC team has had a longer such streak since the Chicago Bears had 9 from 1984 to 1992. The FPI gives it to Arizona, 59% going with Arizona. I'm going with Arizona as well. 30-14, Arizona over New Orleans. MF, your thoughts on our Zonk game of the week?
Yeah, no, I'm with Arizona here, and there's a lot of people that thinks Arizona could actually win the division, or even make the playoffs.
Definitely.
Because if you remember, who was one of the best teams in the second half last year? Believe it or
Arizona.
not, it was actually the Arizona Cardinals. They
Absolutely.
just missed out on the playoffs by a couple of games, a couple of wins that, a couple of losses that would have been turned over to wins. Arizona's in. So now they got a lot of their core guys back. And I think this could be a make or break year for Arizona. This could be that year where they might be going on that upward trajectory that there's a very good chance that they could actually make the playoffs coming out of the NFC West. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. But I think they're going to start out with the dubs. So yeah, give me Arizona to win. And Anthony, back to you.
All right. We move on now to our number 5. This game came in as our number 5 game of the week on CBS. The Pittsburgh Steelers squaring off against the New York Jets, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Ian Eagle and his new broadcast partner, J.J. Watt. Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt, alongside of Evan Washburn, they will have the call of this game. And Pittsburgh opening up as a 3-point favorite. In the series history, it favors Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh leads it 19-7. They played in Pittsburgh last year, and the Steelers smashed the Jets 37-15. Last meeting in New York was 2019. Jets winning that 16-10. The Steelers' last win at the Jets was in 2013, 19-6. So with all that being said, let's dive right on into this. And we know what the big story is when it comes to this matchup.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the headline of this matchup is Aaron Rodgers' return to MetLife against the Jets. But it's also a crucial measuring stick for a Steeler run defense that wilted down the stretch last season. The Steelers will face a stout running back tandem in Breece Hall and Braylon Allen, whom coach Mike Tomlin compared to the Detroit Lions' Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, along with a familiar face in mobile quarterback Justin Fields. And they'll do so without first-round rookie defensive tackle Derek Harmon with an MCL sprain. But third-year lineman Keanu Benton expressed confidence in his unit's improvement from a season ago. He said, "We are not all looking just for pass rush and those big stats or sack stats." He said, "We're down to get grimy." For the Jets, 8 of the 11 starters on the Jets defense faced Aaron Rodgers last summer in training camp. A small benefit, perhaps? New coach Aaron Glenn acknowledged their familiarity with Rodgers, who was cut in the offseason, has some value, and it could help them anticipate Rodgers' cadence hard count, which he uses as a weapon. Both Glenn and defensive coordinator Steve Wilks praised Rodgers' intelligence and experience, but said Aaron Glenn, physically, we all start to wane at some point as we get older. This is the first season opener in NFL history between starting quarterbacks who played for the opposing team the previous year. In 2024, Justin Fields was with Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers was with the Jets. How crazy is that, guys? FPI goes with Pittsburgh here. 59% going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I am going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game as well. 20-17. Give me Pittsburgh to defeat the Jets. Michael Bullock heading out for the night. No problem. MF and I will take you the rest of the way. So we'll hopefully have Bullock back with us tomorrow night for a very exciting Cerebral Smack Talk, which we'll set the table for at the end. But anyways, 20-17, Pittsburgh wins. MF, our number 5 game of the week, Pittsburgh and the Jets. Aaron Rodgers returning to MetLife.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very interesting matchup to say the very least. But at the end of the day, I feel like Pittsburgh is going to win. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people's like, well, the Jets, we don't really know what we're going to get from the Jets. At least with Pittsburgh, I think we know more or less what we're going to get. Defensively, this could be a slog fest. I don't think you're going to get a high scoring. I think this could be a defensive battle. And I hate to say this, Anthony. I know there's certain games that where you're like, oh, this is going to be high scoring. I think this is going to be knockdown, drag out, old school, blue blooded. I honestly, personally think this is going to end in this is not going to be a slugfest. This is going to be one of those grind me out, low scoring. This might be like Ohio State versus like that's what I'm talking about. This might be that game. Pittsburgh wins 13-10 over the New York Jets. Florio, it's yours.
All right. And we move on to our final 1:00 game. And this is over on Fox. NFC East divisional matchup, as it will be the other New York team, the New York Giants, squaring off against the Washington Commanders from FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. And I can't believe this. How about this? Look who's calling this game. The A team is calling this game, if you can imagine that. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi. They are working this game. And the spread favors Washington. Washington opening up as a 6-point favorite. Series history, it's all about the Giants. It's a dominant series lead, 107-72 with 5 ties. But it was the Commanders who swept the season series last year, including a 21-18 win in Washington. So not much more to say on that. So I believe this goes to you, right, MF?
Yes, it does.
All right. The Giants and the Washington Commanders closing out the early games. A lot of buzz in Washington after that magical year last year where they went all the way to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, and there you know it was gonna be so. Washington had so much hype, so much excitement, and everything else. Yes, you knew it was gonna come. You knew it was probably gonna happen at some point, and yeah, this was. Look, Washington feels like they let one get away. They feel like they let one get away. With the thrashing that they suffered in the NFC Championship game, and now Washington's got a lot of expectations. A lot of people feel like they need to come back. They got to do all the stuff. They got to do all these things in order to really get back. And now here they are, and you're gonna. It's real. It's real. And the thing was, there was one little problem that they were really worried about, and that was it going to look like if they have to, with Tarek McLaurin? There was a little bit of some drama, contract-wise, and they were able to figure it out. Now all the ducks are in a row. Washington is ready. Now, they take a step back because defensively they're not as potent as they were a year ago, but I got a lot more faith in Washington than I do with New York. So for me, Commanders win. Florio, it's yours.
Oh, most definitely. Let's get into this here. Okay. The Giants lost a lot last season, including both matchups with the Commanders by a total of 8 points. That gave Washington quarterback Jaden Daniels bragging rights over his former college teammate and best friend, Giants wide receiver Malik Neighbors. It didn't sit well with Neighbors, who was tired of all the losing. He was like, enough is enough. I'm coming to get you. He and the Giants have a chance at redemption on Sunday in week 1. The Commanders know they're facing a front seven that, as offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury said, is as challenging as we'll face. The Giants sacked Daniels 5 times in their first meeting, but none in the second, while allowing a combined 364 rushing yards in the 2 games. A lot of guys want to get their hands on them fast, and that's where they take advantage of you. They want to rush the passer, said tight end John Bates, one of the league's best blockers, about the Giants' defensive line. I won't say they're the most want-to-be physical top type guys, So you have to have a base and have your feet underneath you and be poised. Russell Wilson will make his 200th NFL start in week 1, becoming the 16th quarterback in NFL history to do so. Only one other quarterback has made his 200th start in week 1 of a season, and that player also made his 200th start in a New York Giants uniform. Of course, that was Eli Manning in 2017. Washington, a somewhat overwhelming FPI favorite, 68% going with the Washington Commanders, and I'm going with the Washington Commanders. I think it's going to be a little closer than you think, but I think the Commanders are actually going to. I do have the Commanders winning this one, 24-17. I got Washington defeating the Giants. So now we move on to the late afternoon games. Now we got 4 of them, 2 on Fox and 2 on the mothership. We'll start with the Fox games that are going to be starting at 4:05 p.m. Starting off with a matchup featuring an AFC matchup with the Tennessee Titans squaring off against the Denver Broncos from Empower Field in Mile High in Denver. Adam Amin, Mark Sanchez, Christina Pink will have the call. And the spread favors Denver. Denver opening up as an 8.5-point favorite. Tennessee, however, leads the all-time series 24-16 with a tie. And the Titans have won the last 2 meetings in a row against Denver. The last one in 2022 in Nashville, Tennessee won 17-10. Last meeting in Denver, 2020, Tennessee also won that, 16-14. The Broncos' last win over the Titans was in 2019 in Denver. They won 16-0. So with that, let's get into our late afternoon games now. Just got to find it here. All right. For the Titans, all eyes will be on number 1 overall draft pick Cam Ward making his NFL debut, and rightfully so. But don't underestimate the rushing attack with Tony Pollard, who's coming off career highs in attempts, 260, and yards, 1,079, going against a Bronco run defense that allowed 94 rushing yards a game last season, 3rd in the NFL. Titans coach Brian Callahan said the Titans will lean on the run game, but they also just need Ward to play good football and need the guys around him to play well for him. For the Broncos, as expectations and optimism swirled around the Broncos defense throughout the offseason, we want to be the best defense in the league, is how tackle DJ Jones has put it. Defensive coordinator Vance Joseph has said it can be considered among the league's best if it finds consistency and avoids awkward plays on Sunday. Cam Ward will be the first rookie quarterback the Broncos have faced in a season opener since the AFL-NFL merger in 1970. And his improvisational skills, even in his first NFL start, will be the first test for that defense. Look for the Broncos to try to keep Ward hemmed in as they try to squeeze the rookie off his first reads. Quarterbacks drafted number 1 in the common draft era since 1967 have a 4-15-1 record in their season opener as a rookie. Ward will be hoping to add to that win column. The FPI overwhelmingly in favor of Denver. 70% going with the Denver Broncos to win this game, and I got the Denver Broncos winning this game. 23-10, I got Denver over Tennessee. So not much more to say. MF, number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward in his NFL debut, going up against one of the big surprises of last season and a team that a lot of the experts feel could have just as big of a year, if not a better year than last year in Denver.
Yeah, a lot of people's kind of talking about maybe them in the playoffs. You know that, Anthony. We talked about it privately that there's been some very high excitement about the Denver Broncos, and I do believe that they will get the job done. I got them winning the game as well. So really nothing more to add. So Warrior, what's yours?
And we move on to the other 4:05 game on Fox, an NFC West divisional matchup. The San Francisco 49ers squaring off against the Seattle Seahawks from Lumen Field in Seattle. Joe Davis, Greg Olson, and the newest member of the Sports Broadcast Hall of Fame. I know she just got recently inducted into a 2025 class of a Sports Broadcasting Hall of Fame. Pam Oliver, a new Hall of
Yes.
Famer. Congratulations.
Congratulations, my friend.
Pam Oliver, who's been at Fox since day one, oh, by the way, when they first started all the way back in 1994 and still going strong 31 years later. God bless her. And congratulations on that high honor. Pam Oliver will be joining the B team of Joe Davis and Greg Olson in Seattle for that 49ers Seahawk matchup. A 1-point spread in favor of San Francisco. And the series history in favor of Seattle in the regular season, 30-22. And they split, and both teams split last year, both teams winning on the road. San Francisco won in Seattle last year, 36-24. Matter of fact, the 49ers have actually won in Seattle each of the last 3 years. 36-24 last year, 31-13 in 23, and 21-13 in 2022. Seattle's last home win against the Niners obviously was 2021. Final score there was 30-23. So not much more to say. MF, week one and a huge, and we've already got and we already have a big NFC West matchup with major implications. San Francisco and Seattle, two of the teams to keep an eye on in the West.
Yeah, and the thing is that how are they going to react? You know, obviously you've been hearing a lot of rumors about Christian McCaffrey. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Because he was dealing with an injury. It sounds like all systems go for him. Good news on that front. If you're a Niners fan, because you're really going to need him. This was a shocking down year last year for the 49ers. This was a fall from grace, as
coming
we were talking.
Super Bowl the year before.
Yeah, coming from a Super Bowl, but the reason why they did so bad last year was the injuries. Injuries torpedoed them so bad. And that's why a lot of people were like, man, if they were fully healthy, they're an NFC contender. Definitely. There's no doubt in my mind. They're a contender. They can challenge Philadelphia. They could challenge Washington. They could challenge Tampa Bay to being the representative of the NFC in the Super Bowl. They can. They are that good. Seattle, look, we know what Kenneth Walker is going to bring to the table. We know that the defense, it's not what it used to be. This is not the Legion of Boom that we remember about almost 10 years ago when they absolutely just steamrolled and had those back-to-back appearances in the Super Bowl, 48 and 49. We all remember they had a great run. It was like a 5-year run. Seattle's defense was like gangbusters, the best in all of the NFL. You couldn't stop this. You couldn't stop that D. That D was so damn good. Seattle needs to kind of figure that out. The 49ers, as long as they don't get hurt, they got the weapons. They got George Kittle. They got Christian McCaffrey. Brock Purdy is back. And if they play their game, Niners win easy. And I got that happening. 49ers win over Seattle. Anthony, it's yours.
For the first time since the 2020 season, the 49ers did not play a single postseason game, which means a longer than usual amount of time before getting to play another game that counts. When you're used to making those deep runs and then getting off in early January, it seems like eternity, left tackle Trent Williams said. Guard Dominic Puny said the Niners had a rough taste in their mouths that lasted all offseason. The sense from the Niners locker room is that they're eager to get back on the field and erase the hard feelings of last year's 6-11 finish. That they get to do it against a division rival on the road with a nearly fully healthy roster only adds to it. New quarterback Sam Darnold's debut is the big story of this game from Seattle's perspective, but there's a juicy matchup on the other side of the ball where play calling head coaches Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDonald will square off once again. Shanahan's offense got the better of McDonald's defense in the first meeting last season, a 36-24 49er win in October. The Seahawks' 20-17 win 5 weeks later kicked off their defensive turnaround, with Seattle finishing the season 9th in points allowed. There's plenty of optimism about that unit's ability to take the next step in 2025, with so many key players back in the fold, and the opener against Shanahan will be an early measuring stick. McDonald said of his 49ers counterpart, he does a great job of keeping you off balance. They deploy their people different than any other team. That's a focal point of how you focus on them. Although the Seahawks have won 5 of their last 6 season openers, they were 3-6 at home last season. The FPI gives a slight edge to San Francisco, 54%, going with the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers to win as well. 27-23, San Francisco defeats Seattle on Sunday, which should be a great matchup. Now we move on to the 2 late games on our side of the ledger, and these games come in at number 3 and number 4, respectively. We'll start it off with our number 3 game of the week. This came in at number 3. NFC North divisional matchup. Oh, the cross flexors gave us a good one here. Oh boy, thank you. Thank you for this. We'll take this all day. Huge NFC North divisional matchup. Many people consider them the 2 favorites in the NFC North, and rightfully so. The Detroit Lions squaring off against the Green Bay Packers from Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Hello, friends. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson, they will have it. And Green Bay is actually opening up as a 2-point favorite. Series history, all Green Bay, 104-78 with 7 ties. Last year, Detroit won both meetings last year, including a 24-14 win in Lambeau last year. And the Lions have actually won the last 3 years in Lambeau. Green Bay last beat Detroit at home in 2021. But the last 3 years, the Lions have left Lambeau with a win. So with all that, let's get into this. Just give me a moment here. Okay. Kelvin Shepard is absolutely excited. The Lions' new defensive coordinator will be making his debut alongside new offensive coordinator John Morton. But the focus in Detroit is very much the Lions versus the Packers. Neither Shepard nor Morton is making this game about himself, and both are keeping the team at the forefront. When asked about his mindset entering the game, I'm very anxious but not nervous. It's a big difference, Shepard said Thursday. Shepard and Morton feel prepared as the Lions will try to set the tone for their season in Week 1 at Lambeau Field. Micah Parsons' impact on the field might not show up immediately. After all, he missed the entire preseason in Dallas and now has to learn a new defense in Green Bay. But that doesn't mean he hasn't already made an impact in the locker room. Left tackle Rasheed Walker said, "Personally, it makes me want to do my part, do my job even better. I'm really looking forward to competing in practice, knowing that I'm going to get better going against more competition. And shoot, I feel like it makes me and the team more hungry for that Super Bowl." Jordan Love has 7 consecutive games without an interception, which is the 3rd longest streak by a Packer quarterback behind 8 and 9 game stretches from Aaron Rodgers. This is basically another pick'em game here. Detroit, the FPI slight edge to Detroit, 50.9%. So that's basically 51% for Detroit. I'm going to take a chance and go with Detroit in this one. 27-23. I think Detroit defeats Green Bay in what should be a very exciting game. Could have been our game, but we have a much bigger game than this one, with all due respect. But boy, howdy, if it wasn't for that, this could have been our game right here, and we would have had a lot of fun with it. So give me Detroit, 27-23. MF, huge NFC North implications in this one. Detroit and Green Bay, the 2 favorites, and they're meeting in Week 1. Micah Parsons now in Green Bay. And how will Detroit look after losing both of their coordinators?
Yeah, no, this is going to be very interesting, and I think that's the key. Is we don't know what we're going to get. Do I think that it's going to be very interesting, to say the very least? Yeah. But I think, up to this point, we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, I think this is going to be a very it's going to be wild to see how this plays out. But look, Detroit definitely looked like they took a step back. They did. I think if you kind of looked at it, it looks like they did take a step back. So you kind of feel like, That's going to be very interesting, especially during the preseason. I saw one game with Detroit and Miami, and you noticed it. It was definitely very evident. But at the end of the day, I kind of feel like Detroit is gonna win because I don't know. I feel like they definitely have what it takes. Green Bay, look, there's going to be a couple of good games, everything else, but like you said, Micah is just getting there. And he might not even be able to play. You don't know because it seems like the back injury is more legitimate than we thought. They're like, well, he's got to take a cortisone shot or something like that just for that to go through the navigation and the whole 9 yards. But honestly, truthfully, I don't know, boys. I think this could be trouble. So I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions to win this game. Really nothing more to add. Oh, Bullock, welcome back. What's up, man?
All right.
Yeah,
I got some catching up to do.
Where did we lead off? Where did we leave off with him? Was it the Patriot game?
I think it was the Patriot game. So yeah, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jets.
Yes. So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think you guys were talking
no,
about
I think
the
he talked about
Jets
New
and-
Orleans. He talked about New Orleans. Yes.
I
Yeah.
think you were talking about the Jets and Steelers when.
Yeah.
When we lost you for that moment. Okay. All right, Bullock. We'll get you caught up here. Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Jets.
I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this.
Tennessee Titans versus the Denver Broncos.
Denver Broncos.
San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks.
49ers.
All right. And now the game that we're just covering right now.
The Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I gotta go with the Detroit Lions. And yeah, I mean, the back injury of Micah Parsons is probably more serious than what we were led to be. And who knows, maybe he might not be ready to go. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, I'm gonna go with the Detroit Lions.
Okay, so we are all caught up. So I believe MF will be starting our next game here. It's our final late game, and it's our number 4 game of the week. This came in at number 4. The Houston Texans squaring off against the Los Angeles Rams, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. And on the call for that one will be Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins. And the Rams opening up as a 3-point favorite. And the series history favors the Rams 4-1. Rams have won the last 3 meetings in a row. Last meeting was in Houston in 2021. Rams won 38-22. Their last meeting in Los Angeles was in 2017, and the Rams won that one going away 33-7. The Texans have only beaten the Rams once, and that was in 2009 in St. Louis when they were the St. Louis Rams. They went into the dome there and beat the Rams 16-13 in 2009. So that's the story there. So MF, Houston, and the Rams, number 4 game of the week to close out the late games.
The one concern you have about the Rams is the availability and the health of their quarterback, Matthew Stafford.
Yes.
I think that's going to be the difference maker in this game. Even though he did get the clean bill, it looks like he's good to go. So that's definitely going to be good. And then with the Texans, it's what can you do to try to bounce back? Because, the first year under DeMeco Ryan, they exploded out of the gate. Everybody's like, whoa, what is this? And now the second season looked like a sophomore slump, especially with CJ Stroud. A lot of the top guys, definitely injuries running amok on that team. And now right out of the gate, Mixon's hurt. And he might not be able to go. So right then and there, I'm already looking at LA to win this game. And I kind of feel like this may be the Rams' moment. Some people are even talking about maybe the Rams winning the division. Some people are talking about maybe the Rams as long as Matthew Stafford is healthy, that this team could be the representative coming out of the NFC going into the Super Bowl. You don't know. But first step, Rams win. Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the LA Rams to win this one. So yeah, there's nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
Texans coach D'Amico Ryans said the quiet part out loud involving his offensive line, which is completely revamped and will include rookie left tackle Arianti Ursary. Both offensive lines are going to have to play well, and whoever wins that battle, I think, will ultimately decide the game. Despite dealing with an aggravated disc in his back, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford said he won't be thinking about that when he's on the field. Obviously, would love to stay as clean as possible, but I'm not thinking twice about that at all. I'm out there ready to go play. Stafford and the Rams are facing a Texan defense that had success while pressuring quarterbacks last season, ranking first in completion percentage allowed and tied for fourth in sacks. According to ESPN research, Stafford ranked 17th in completion percentage under pressure in 2024. Matthew Stafford has started his team's season opener in all 16 seasons he has played, whether it was Detroit or Los Angeles. Slight edge to the Rams in the FPI, 54% going with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams to win this game as well. I'm going to go 27-20, the Rams over Houston. So not much more to say to that, but gentlemen, it's time for the main event. This is the game we've been waiting for. Our game of the week on our side of the ledger. Don't get no bigger than this, boys. Sunday Night Football, NBC, 8:20 p.m. The Baltimore Ravens squaring off against the Buffalo Bills, Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark. Baltimore opening up as a 1-point favorite. Baltimore leads the all-time series 7-4. Last year, Sunday Night Football in Baltimore, the Ravens smashed Buffalo 35-10. Last regular season meeting in Buffalo was 2019. Baltimore won that one 24-17. The Bills' last home win against the Ravens in the regular season, 2013, a 23-20 win. Of course, their last meeting, overall, the AFC divisional playoff in January, Buffalo winning 27-25, ending a 3-year funk in the divisional playoffs and advancing to the AFC championship game before getting their hearts ripped out by the Chiefs, of course. So I don't think there's anything else left to say. I believe Michael Bullock starts this one off. So Bullock, here we go. Our game of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, Buffalo. Huge. I mean, I know it's only week one. I understand, but you got to admit, especially with Kansas City losing tonight, this could have some early implications in the AFC playoff picture.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, this is definitely, especially with this Kansas City loss, this could really set the table for the AFC. Yeah, I mean, and remember what I told you, Florio, and I've told you this before, but this is the first time you're telling to this group. Do you agree with me that this is a make or break year for your Buffalo Bills?
Absolutely. After how close they were last year.
Yeah, and how many more chances are you going to get with this group? I mean,
I reckon
I know you don't want to think about it, but Josh Allen ain't getting any younger.
29. He's 29.
I mean, yes, he's still young, but how much more can he play at an elite level?
This is his 8th year. His 8th year now.
Yeah. So, and coming off the MVP, the only thing he needs is to get to the Super Bowl. He needs to get to the Super Bowl if he wants to solidify himself. But then again, you can also say the same for Baltimore because they've had multiple chances too. They've been to the AFC title game, but of course, getting beaten by Kansas City as well. So both teams have plenty to play for in the AFC. So this is going to be a good one. You got two of the best quarterbacks in the AFC, and in Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, and this is going to be a really good game. And look, this game could go either way. If this game was in Baltimore, I'd be going with the Ravens. But because this is in Buffalo, the final year of Highmark Stadium, they don't want to start the final year of that with a loss. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to win this one, but I would not at all be surprised if Baltimore comes in and steals one on the road. So nothing more to say. It's yours, Florio.
When Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson was asked about the biggest key to beating the Bills, he quickly said, "Don't turn the ball over." The Ravens have talked all offseason about their 3 turnovers, the self-inflicted mistakes that led to a 27-25 divisional round loss to Buffalo last January. Since 2022, the Ravens are 1-6 when Lamar Jackson turns the ball over multiple times, including that playoff loss in Buffalo. A banged-up Bills secondary is about to face quite the challenge to start the season in Lamar Jackson, with both starting cornerbacks Christian Benford and Tre'Davious White dealing with groin injuries. White did not practice Wednesday or Thursday, while Benford is moving in a positive direction, fully participating in Thursday's practice. White's availability is a serious question mark, and if he can't go, the role will go to Jamarcus Ingram, who has played a backup role for the Bills before, or 6th-round rookie pick Dorian Strong. Defensive coordinator Bobby Babich said that Strong's improvement over the last 2 weeks has been unbelievable. This is the first time the top 2 players in MVP voting from the prior season meet in a season opener since at least 1970, and the 5th time the MVP winners from the prior 2 seasons face each other in a season opener, also since 1970. Pick'em, another pick'em game. Slight edge, the FPI slight edge to Buffalo, 51.1%. That's basically 51% for Buffalo. And all right, I know it's been a long night. I know it's late, but I do want to get this off my chest real quick. I told Michael Bullock this when we had one of our group outings, some time ago. MF, you might be hearing this for the first time, maybe not. But I can honestly say, going into this season, this is the most excited that I have personally been for a Buffalo Bills season. I feel something in the air that this is finally going to be the year. I just have this feeling in my gut after they came so painfully close to going to the Super Bowl last season. If those couple of calls did not go the other way, they would have been in the Super Bowl, and you guys know that they would have been. But and also watching that 5-episode miniseries, The Hard Knocks, I saw all the episodes, and if you didn't see those episodes, if you saw those episodes, now do you have an idea of why they have become sort of an America's sweetheart kind of team? This is a team that people want to root for. Not just Bills Mafia, but people. Because those guys are just so damn likable, especially Josh Allen, JA-17, with what he does for the kids and the whole 9 yards. And with this, and like Bullock said, with this being the last year of Highmark Stadium before going into that beautiful new stadium next year, we all know what the objective is: to close out Highmark Stadium in the best possible way. Not only going to the Super Bowl, but winning it. And christening the new stadium 1 year from now with that elusive banner that has eluded us for over 30 years. I know there's going to be a lot of naysayers. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, yeah, they're going to be the same. They're going to be great in the regular season, but they're not going to. But that don't mean squat in the playoffs. They're not going to get it done in the playoffs. Well, like I said, I feel something in the air. I do. Baltimore, they're right there. And whoever wins this game, this could have a think about it. it could conceivably come down to this game
Mm.
for that elusive number 1 seed in the AFC. This could be a playoff preview as well. We could see this not only in the divisionals, but this could also be an AFC championship preview. You never know. We could see these two teams easily again in January. No doubt about it. Whoever wins this game, it could be well significant as to who could be the team to beat in the AFC right now. We're in a top-heavy conference, folks. We are. But make no mistake about it. This is going to be a fun-ass game. I can't wait. I mean, this has 5-star shootout written all over it. Two of the most dynamic and most electrifying quarterbacks in the game. The last 2 MVPs, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. 2 great offenses in Baltimore and Buffalo. In Buffalo, in front of the most passionate fan base in the NFL and Bills Mafia, of which I represent the Rhode Island chapter of it. And man, oh man, I just feel it, boys. I just feel it. I do. Of course, I'm going to go with my team. I am a homer. I will openly admit it, but it's not because of that. Like I said, I just feel something in the air. So, but would I be surprised if Baltimore stole this game? No, absolutely not. And here's the thing. Regardless of whether the opponent is a good team or a bad team or what have you, I respect all opponents that I go against, that my team goes against. I have the utmost respect for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh has done an outstanding job with that team. He took them to a Super Bowl. They can very easily get to another one within the next few years. As long as they've got LJ8 running around there, Baltimore is going to be just fine. They will be, I guarantee you, they will be in a Super Bowl. It could even be this year for all I know. They're that good. They really are that good. But I just have this feeling about Buffalo. I mean, it's not my gut this time. It's my heart. My heart is telling me that this is going to be this is going to be that magical year that Bills Mafia has waited forever and ever and ever and ever for. We wrote out the good years. We wrote out those bad years, hoping for that one good year. And ever since 2019, I've been spoiled as a Bills fan. Playoffs every year, but especially since this decade, the 2020s, winning the AFC East every year, and are heavily favored to do so yet again this year. Let the chips fall where they may. And the objective is to get J.A. home. Josh Allen, 115 miles from Santa Clara, which is where the Super Bowl will be, Super Bowl 60, Levi's Stadium. It's a mere 115 miles from Josh's hometown of Fireball, California. Could you imagine if they get him home? That's the objective. Get Josh home. Literally get him home. Let's have a great year. Let the chips fall where they may. And I can feel it in the air tonight, boys. I do. If I'm the only one that feels this way, so be it. I'll take it. 31-27, the Buffalo Bills defeat the Baltimore Ravens again. But would I be surprised if Baltimore stole this game? Abso-freaking-lutely not. I would not at all. There isn't much more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher. Our 30th year of doing this. The Phil Simms to my Jim Nance. We could not have asked for a better opener for this NFL season. Oh my goodness. What a game this is going to be. This is truly what the words main event were meant for. Because this is right here. This is the main event, brother. It don't get no bigger. And that's the Phil Simms to my Jim Nance. You know I got to do it. Do that thing I like. Hello, friends.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a good one. Both teams have Super Bowl aspirations. Both teams knows that, especially after Kansas City just fell here tonight, that the door has now opened up even more. So now it's, what do you do? How does it happen? What do you lead to? so many different questions, so many different things. If you're Buffalo, it's like you said, you lean on JA-17, you lean on Josh Allen. You got a nice little running core. The defense, they gotta be stout, they gotta be stacked up, they gotta be great. You know, if you're Baltimore, you got an explosive offense. Lamar Jackson, you got Derrick Henry. You got a receiving core that can definitely light it up. You know, uh, Andrews is looking for revenge. Andrews knows he let that get away. And I know that's been eating him up since January when he dropped that ball that if you really think about it, if he catches that, it's a tied game. Who knows what happens? This could have ended with Buffalo out of the playoffs, but instead it was that close that it went the wrong way for the Ravens and they went out. So you got that going. So at the end of the day, what is the one thing? It's going to be the X factor. Who's going to make that one moment that's going to define how this game ends? I think Buffalo wins. I think they win this game, and it's not going to be easy. But I give the Bills the check mark on this one. I think they knock off the Ravens, and it is going to be just as close as all these other matches have been. So, Anthony, I believe it's back to you. I got Buffalo winning.
And we have one more game to get to on this long night. Monday Night Football on ESPN and also simulcast on ABC, 8:15 kickoff. We have the Minnesota Vikings and the other NFC North divisional matchup. The Minnesota Vikings squaring off against the Chicago Bears from Soldier Field in Chicago. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lisa Salters, and their new sideline reporter, in addition to Lisa Salters, Laura Rutledge, will be joining the crew. So Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lisa Salters, and Laura Rutledge. And we have Minnesota. Minnesota opening up as a 1.5-point favorite. Series history favors Minnesota 68-57 with 2 ties. Last year, Minnesota won both meetings, including a 30-27 overtime win in Chicago last season. So here we go. Final game of the night. With national attention understandably focused on the debut of quarterback J.J. McCarthy, it has been easy to miss the Vikings' growing emphasis on a running game that will pair Aaron Jones Sr. and Jordan Mason with a rebuilt offensive line. In the 3 previous seasons under head coach Kevin O'Connell, the Vikings have had only 2 games of 30 or more carries by running backs. That figure is now a baseline expectation against the Bears and other early season opponents as McCarthy grows into the job. In planning for the run game this summer, O'Connell said he asked himself one question above all else: what allows us to play the most multiple way? Because that all circles back to the number one question of what makes the quarterback's job easier. Bears cornerback Jalen Johnson returned to practice for the first time since sustaining what he classified as a pretty bad groin injury while working on his releases during offseason training. Although his availability for the Vikings game Monday night is in question because he has been sidelined since July, Johnson is eager to be back on the field in a role that will allow him to showcase his best against Minnesota's best. I'm more enticed to go against wide receiver Justin Jefferson than the quarterback per se, Johnson said. But hopefully there are some passes that are left inside for me to be able to intercept on certain coverages or whatever the case may be. We're looking forward to disrupting him a lot. The Bears begin their season by facing the Vikings in week 1 and then the Lions next week. Based on last season's win-loss records, that is the toughest 2-game stretch by any team to begin this season. The slight edge, another pick'em here. 51.5%, basically rounded up to 52% for Chicago. But I got to go with Minnesota in this one. I think Minnesota wins this one. I'm going to go 24-21. Minnesota beats Chicago. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago wins this game either. So not much more to say. MF, Minnesota, and Chicago on Monday night.
I got Minnesota. I think Minnesota is going to be the better team. I just feel like Chicago just doesn't have it yet. I mean, give it a little bit of some time. I think it'll be better, but right now, give me the Minnesota Vikings. So, Bullock, you have the last say tonight.
Take us home, Bullock.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings to win this one as well. So, with that being said, Florio, let's put a bow on what, shall we say, has been a historic night overall.
Historic night overall, with the first NFL game exclusively on YouTube, and the major bomb from WWE tonight. I mean, that will put the bow on this very exciting season premiere of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. We want to thank you all so very much for not only tuning in, but staying up with us here tonight. And we're back again tomorrow night, 10:30. MF will have it. Braves Fan 95. One of the most anticipated cerebral smack talk shows in quite some time. Not only are we going to cover that live TNA Impact from Thursday night, but we will get into what ended up being far and away the single best Friday night SmackDown of 2025, including what happened at the end, oh, by the way. And I also believe that MF will also set the table for the WWE Worlds Collide that's going down next week. So the card has actually been dropped for that. So MF will set the table for that, of course. Worlds Collide coming off the success. Can it replicate the success of Triple Mania? We'll find out. That'll be tomorrow. And then Tuesday, we got Ridiculously Raw, of course. Monday Night Raw and NXT. And then from there, we have Thursday, week 3 of college football Thursday. And then 1 week from tonight, the week 2 edition of TXN Sports World NFL Friday. And oh, by the way, also on that Tuesday show, we'll also be previewing the first Thursday night game of Amazon Prime Video, the Washington Commanders and the Green Bay Packers. Good one there. Notable games for next week: we have the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. We got a Buddy Bowl, the New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. The Seattle Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But of course, the big one, the rematch of Super Bowl 59. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. And we also have the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football next week. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Houston Texans on Monday Night Football next week. So not overly exciting, but we'll address it all anyway next week. So that's it. So until tomorrow night, for that huge cerebral smack talk over on MF's channel, Braves Fan 95. This is Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for Michael Bullock, and in spirit, of course, always and forever, our First Lady, Dee Dee Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Saturday. And until tomorrow night for the cerebral smack talk, you've been watching the season premiere of TXN Sports World NFL Friday right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamio.com. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.